Alright, hey guys, it's Greg, and I'm here today at YouTube NYC to show you how to make a WordPress blog in the fastest and cheapest possible way that there is today. We're going to be using WordPress.org so that you get all the features like Google Analytics and Google Adsense, social media buttons, and pretty themes that you might see on other popular websites that you look at today. So you can make a website or a blog or a website with a blog, or just a really simple one-page site, something like that. Either way, it's up to you. You just need to install the WordPress.org software, which is what I'm going to show you how to do right here. We'll keep it really simple today. You don't need to know anything about servers or code or any of that, despite what you might have heard or read. We have the only two tools we need here to get started, which are the WordPress.org website and a web host, which you can see here. And then you have me, your teacher, for better or for worse, and maybe just a cup of coffee or whatever it is you like drinking. So let's get started. If you're ready to see where WordPress can take you, then let's learn how to make a WordPress blog the right way. Let's do it. Alright guys and gals, let's do it. So for starters, you can visit the WordPress.org site if you want to, meet WordPress, but you don't need to be on this site and you don't need to click download WordPress either, because our web host of choice today, HostGator, has unlimited copies of it and it'll set up WordPress for us. But sometimes I like clicking Showcase just to see who else is using WordPress, like Bloomberg, Angry Birds, and the Walt Disney Company. Alright, so we're going to visit HostGator in a second to see what they're all about. But I'm also going to bring in our handy stopwatch so we can see how getting web hosting and getting a domain name, if you need it, takes about as much time as it does to check our emails, which for me is 4 minutes. All right, so let's click start and we'll keep an eye on that as we go through. First step is to visit HostGator at www.hostgator.com. All right, and we're also going to keep track of how many different snappies we see throughout the tutorial. That's snappy right here. So I choose HostGator because they're always the first to come out with new products like these. They have award-winning live chat support up here, and you pretty much get more features than you could ever need to try out on your new blog. You'll never run out of new things to play with. So first step is to click Get Started Now right here. And we're going to get the hatchling plan today because it's the most basic, cheapest plan. One step up would be the baby plan though. And that's just good if you want to run unlimited sites, but the hatchling plan is perfect if you want to run one WordPress site or blog, same thing. And we can see that it starts at $3.95 per month, but that's just what the general public pays. You're my audience, so we're always going to get better stuff, and I'll show you how to get a special discount in 1 second. I just want you to know that you can also click Compare All Plans, and you get this really epic detailed list from HostGator showcasing what their 3 most popular plans, Hatchling, Baby, and Business, come with. Things like a free $100 credit to try Google AdWords or Yahoo Bing. And most importantly, Hatchling comes with amazing WordPress hosting right here. All right, so that's all we need today, but this list is obviously pretty cool, just so you know about it. All right, so now it's time to see how to get our discount. This is just an example from a previous video tutorial that people followed. But what I'm going to do is leave you a link like this one beneath the video. Believe me, not everyone sees or finds it, but it's going to say something like get biggest discount at HostGator, and then you just click through it and the discount will be applied automatically. So already we're going to get the hosting down to $3 a month, that same amazing Hatchling hosting, and it also gets a domain name thrown in and custom email thrown in so you don't have to use your Hotmail anymore. All right, so the discount will be applied automatically, and I may earn a small credit if you sign up through my link. That comes at no cost to you, so big thanks for helping me, by the way. All right, so now we'll click on Get Started, and we're going to go to the HostGator order form, so you're in the right place. Step 1, we just need to choose a domain. So enter your new domain name if you want to register a new one. If you need help with any ideas, let me know in the comments. This part's really fun, but I already found the perfect one. And I already bought it, so I'm going to click I already own this domain. I'm going to enter in my WordPress blog tutorial, if I could spell. All All right, not bad. And I'm just going to choose the .com here. We don't need to get any of the other extensions because I'm not worried about copycats at this point. But the .com is the best. If you get the .net or the .org or something, it's not going to hurt your site. People just think of the .com right away, so I like that. In step 2, it's time to choose a hosting plan. Just make sure you have Hatchling selected. And then for billing cycle, we can see that 12 months is a really good price. It's actually the lowest price right here. But even more importantly, perhaps 12 months is the ideal amount of time to make your blog a success and make some money from it, or move on to another online adventure. But it's important to give your blog or website a chance at success. And it looks like even HostGator knows that. So we're going to choose it for $2.58 a month. That would just be $3 if you get a domain name too. Next, choose a username and a password and come down. Enter your billing info in step 3. So I had autofill take care of that. In step 4, make sure to uncheck all the additional services. You can add them later, but we don't need them at the moment because we want to pay the least amount possible. And in step 5, we're done. All right. So it's going to be $31 if you just get the web hosting, or $36 if you get the domain name. That domain name will just be $5 a month, which also is a discounted price. All right. So these are both insanely amazing deals, and you have my personal word that these are actually the best deals available today. It might expire in the future. If it does, just let me know in the comments and I'll help out. But for now, let's keep moving. Check this box and then proceed and click checkout now. Congratulations and welcome to the HostGator family. When you see this screen, it's now time to check our inboxes. Okay, so we're in our email now, and I want you to look out for 2 emails that HostGator will send you, which will help you do the next 2 steps we need to do right now before we install WordPress. All right, and I'm sorry for going 34 seconds over. Greg owes you 34 seconds, redeemable however you want. All right, so the first email to look out for is billing. All right. And if you don't see these emails, just ask HostGator's award-winning live chat. They'll send them over manually. So open up billing. And the first step we need to do and need to know how to do is just to log in to that place we were before where we got the congratulations, welcome to the HostGator family message. Get back there because that's also where we install WordPress. And I closed all my browser tabs, so we need to see how to get back there. All right. So to do that, we just click on this link that says HostGator Billing Portal and then log in with the information from that billing email. So that first next step is done. You now know how to get back to your HostGator customer portal, which is they also call it the billing portal. Customer portal sounds a little better, but this is where you do pretty much everything in terms of managing what you just set up. You can see I have a lot of hosting packages, and this is also where we install WordPress. All right. So let's click on hosting and get ourselves to the right place. But what we need to do now, the second thing we need to do is go back to our inbox and open up the no reply email. All right. And this email contains first name server and second name server, which are 2 important pieces of information we need to connect our domain name with our hosting. Everyone needs to do this step, especially if you registered your domain name somewhere like GoDaddy or Namecheap. Just log into those registrars and follow the instructions or ask their live chat where to put your first name server and second name server, and then make sure to save so your domain name points to your hosting. All right, this is a necessary step. And I'd show you how now, but this is a HostGator tutorial. So if you really want, I'll let you know in the comments how to do that at a place like GoDaddy or Namecheap. For now, we're going to move forward and enter the first name server and second name server at HostGator. Should take us about a minute. So let's continue. All right, continue. Okay, so we're just going to write these down or copy them in our case. It's a little easier. Highlight, right click, copy. And I'm going to remember that the other one is just 9.8 instead of 9.7. Come back to your HostGator customer portal. And then let's click on domains at the top. And what we're going to do, this is just an example. You'll see your domain name right here. You're going to click on the gear. All right. And then where it says name servers, you're going to click change. and you're just gonna write over these two name servers. All right, so delete it, and then right click paste, and then write in the new one as well. All right, so that one was just an 8. And then once that's done, you're just gonna click save name servers, and you're good to proceed. Good job. All right, I think we nailed that one at 1 minute. Great job. So let's come back to hosting. All right, so lots of fun, new, easy tools to play around with in this section of HostGator. But for now, it's time to move forward with the main event of the tutorial and install your copy of WordPress. I think this should take us about 2 minutes, and after that, we'll learn as much as possible in WordPress as we can today. All right, and if not, got plenty more tutorials on the channel. So let's do it. Go ahead and come down to where it says Get Started with WordPress Today and click that link. And now all we need to do is select your domain name from this list, which should be pretty easy unless you've made like a million WordPress sites like me. All right, there we go, there it is. And we're gonna leave the directory box blank, don't write anything there, and just click next. Now you need to enter some information like a blog title. So this can be changed later. I'm just gonna go through quickly. The only thing you need to really focus on here is your email, because WordPress will send you some login details, and your admin user. This is what WordPress will understand as your username. So when you publish a blog post, it'll say published by whatever you write here, like Greg or, you know, tennis guy 22 or something. That's what it'll say. So make that one serious and good. All right, now check the terms box and click install now and cross your fingers. This is the famous WordPress one-click install you might have heard about. And we're doing it together. All right, success. We got the green check mark, installation complete. You do not want to click on the installation details. You just want to take these and copy them and put them someplace safe, like in a blank note file or a Word doc. What you do want to do now is click My Installs, upper right, and change your password. All right, so let's load. It's thinking. We're gonna come down to our new install at the bottom, click Reset Password. You might just have one WordPress or a lot in the future. Choose your name and just write in new password. All right, so obviously I'll use something different. Click Update Password, and now let's click Admin Login. All right, so I just paused the video now to tell you 3 things. The first one is that if you visit your WordPress admin login link, like we are at right now, but you don't see this WordPress login, you see some sort of blank or error page, then it's either because when you just install WordPress, it can take between 2 and 4 hours for this screen to start working because your server and other servers in your area are updating to understand where your website is. Also, if you just connected your domain name from somewhere like GoDaddy to your hosting, it can take up to 72 hours to start seeing your website live because of what's known as propagation. That's just so you know, if you don't see this WordPress login screen, but you did follow the instructions, you probably didn't do anything wrong. Just take a break and come back a little bit later. The second thing I wanted to say is we're now going to start 10 steps to master WordPress in 10 minutes. I hope you'll stick with us because this is where we'll learn how to make a complete WordPress blog or website. Should be a lot of fun. And the third thing I wanted to say is we're going to get rid of the stopwatch because I think we want the full screen, but I'll just use that for my reference. All right, so let's continue. The first step in our 10 steps to master WordPress in 10 minutes is just to log in. So go ahead and do so with the password that you set in this screen at the HostGator control panel marketplace. Let's also check Remember Me, and let's also bookmark this link so that when you want to log in the future, you can just find this link from your bookmarks or from a folder. Great job. All right, and if you do lose track entirely of where to log in, you can always just visit yourdomainname.com and write in a /wp-admin and click enter, and it'll take you back to the same screen. All right, so that's how I do it sometimes. So let's click Login. And welcome to WordPress. We can say we don't need help because you have me. And then the first thing we want to do is just dismiss a few of the notifications, like no thanks right here. And we're going to clean up your dashboard a little bit so that all of us are on the same page and that your site runs perfectly and really simply. All right, so first it says your site is currently displaying a coming soon page. What does that look like? Well, I'm going to open up our site in incognito so it doesn't know we're logged in, and show you that the coming soon page looks like this. All right, so anyone other than you, like your friend or your business partner who's not logged in, will see this right when you are at this point in making your WordPress site. So if you want a coming soon page, if you're worried that people will see your site before you launch, then you might want to keep this up. However, I like removing it because then your friend can look at the site and give you feedback. You know, they don't have to be logged in. And it can be kind of confusing if you don't know this page is up and it is, and people aren't actually seeing your site, I guess, to put it hopefully simply. All right, so if you want to keep that page up, if you're worried about how your site will look, then just leave it. But if you want to remove it, click here. And if you want to see how your site looks to the world, you just click in the upper left on your site title, and it'll take you to the front end of your site, which is how the whole world sees it once it's live. At the moment, it's just you that can see it like this because everyone else sees the coming soon page. And if you click on that site title again, it'll take you to the back end or the dashboard where we make all our edits. So just clicking that button will just go from one place to another. Front end to back end. Your call, but I don't like the coming soon page because the colors don't match my branding. So I'm gonna click here and that'll get rid of the coming soon page, and everyone will see your site as it is as you build it. All right, great job. Next, let's click updates. Whenever there's a little red circle, it means that we should update some stuff. So we can just select all on the plugins, which I'll explain in a little bit, and update them. And you can also update the theme. Just a best practice to keep everything updated. All right, so now is a good time also to go to plugins. And in plugins, we can make sure that we are all on the same page. I just want to delete some plugins we don't need. So we can actually activate Akismet. That's an anti-spam tool, which you can sign up for later. It'll reduce spam on your blog posts and pages. And we can delete Hello Dolly. Just click OK. There's no harm in deleting a plugin from your site. You can always reinstall it and get it working again, and you won't experience any negative side effects unless your whole site depends on it. But our site doesn't depend on any of these at the moment. So we're going to deactivate and delete Mojo Marketplace, Opt-in Monster, and Jetpack. You can always bring them back later for free. All right, so if we click plugins again, we should just have one plugin activated. Akismet. What's a plugin in the first place? A plugin is like an add-on to your site. It extends the functionality by definition. So if your WordPress is an apartment, a plugin would be like the television, the oven, the couch. Your apartment doesn't come with those things automatically, just like WordPress doesn't. But when you bring them into your site, plugins allow you to do a lot more, like show social media icons or create an image slider or rank better in Google and so on and so forth. So you need plugins, but you want to make sure you get the right ones too. And just ask me to share my favorites if you'd like. All right, so we're done with the first step in our 10 steps, and the second step is the theme. Let's change the whole look of our site. If we click our site title to go to the front end now, we see that our site looks well like this. It's got one of the default themes in WordPress running. I know that it's called 2016, but everything you see from the black lines to the way the fonts are, the way your sidebar is over here, and every little detail down to the shape of the search box, that's all guided by the theme. So this theme works pretty good for a lot of people, but we want our site to work amazing. So let's change the whole theme. And to do that, we can go up to our upper menu, and we can either click on themes, or we can go the long way, which is click on your site title and then hover on appearance and click themes, and that'll take you to the same place. And we can see that active is 2016, made by the WordPress team. You can see all the details here, and X out. And so if you wanted to activate one of the other themes that your site came with, just click on the activate button here. Or to get a new theme, we can click on the big plus sign right here. All right, and now you're gonna see a ton of themes. So these are all made by WordPress developers, the WordPress community, and WordPress, features some and says others are popular. And you're gonna wanna play around when you have a moment. The only problem is some themes look really good and then are actually they don't look at all, when you install them like they do right here. Responsive is a really good one that I know, but there's too many themes to keep track of. So I picked out one already, which I know looks good, and it's just called North. So if you just search for North, then it'll find it. All right, and it's by a company called SiteOrigin. SiteOrigin created the smash hit Vantage theme, which absolutely dominated WordPress for the past 3 or even 4 years. So I know you're gonna like North because they made a really popular theme before, and this is one of their new models. All right, so to get North working, we can just hover on it and click install, and then click activate. Cool. And now right away it's gonna say thanks for using SiteOrigin North. You can learn more about it here, or it's straight to customizer. All right, so we're actually gonna go at our own pace, and we're gonna see what our site looks like. Click the site title, and right away everything looks different. All right, so it's a lot more simple layout, and of course it doesn't look very good at all because there's nothing here. So let's move on to step 3 in 10 steps to master WordPress, adding blog posts. And within this section, I'll also show you how to get free images online. So to get your first blog post live, hover on the skinny nav at the top and click post. And let's start off right away with an image. So open a new tab, and I like going to a site called Pixabay, Pixabay.com. All right, when you go to Pixabay, you can get all sorts of free high quality nature images, and any way you want to search basically works. You can't go wrong. So if you have a food blog, if you have a nature blog, whatever kind of thing you want. I usually like going with nature. And once you click on an image you like, you can also click on the categories. So that's pretty cool. And you can try to find the best possible image. So I'm going to search for New Zealand, because I just visited there and I've been pretty obsessed with it. And I'm just going to use this image, the first one, because I was actually there. That's the gondola in Queenstown. It's pretty cool. And we actually golfed right there. That's a story for another time, though. And to get a nice image, just click free download, and then you can choose the size. So the second to largest one is good, really good. Click download, and then it's going to ask you to sign in or do the CAPTCHA, and I just did a free social media sign in before. So then we need to title it and save it. Cool. Now we can go to the blog post, and you can easily insert an image into the blog post by clicking Add Media, then click Select Files, then just find the image on your computer. So that's usually in Downloads or on your desktop. When you find it, you can double click or click Open. It will upload to your WordPress, your blog, and it will be stored in your hosting. And then you just have to choose the display settings, so whether it shows up really big or smaller in the post, and if you want it to float around text or link to something. All right, and then you can click Insert into Post. So I chose the big setting, so we get a huge high quality image. But we actually just want to click it and remove this because we want our image in the featured image section so that the theme does something beautiful with it. So click Set Featured Image, choose the image, and Set Featured Image. And we'll see that in just 1 second. For now, we need a title. So how about Made It to the Top in New Zealand, and then some text. Sorry about the noise. I guess the chase is on with my kittens. Categories are good for people and the search engines to find your posts, so why not add a new category and choose something basic like travel. We can uncheck uncategorize, and tags are even more specific than categories like New Zealand, or if categories are food, then tags are brownies and cookies. All right, great job. And we can leave the rest of the settings the same, although they're a lot of fun to play around with later. And let's publish the post, or in my case, update, because I already published it. All right, now we just need to click the site title to go back to the home page, and we can see that our first blog post is live. Great job. And the North theme did something beautiful with the image. It inserted it in this perfect square right here. So that's where featured images will go. And it looks really professional. You can see the byline here for your author and the date, and then once you start getting comments, those will show up in the link right next to the title right here. All right, so the next step in our 10 steps to master WordPress is pages. Pretty similar to posts, but slightly different. Let's go back to our skinny nav and click new page. And let's just create an about me page, so about me. So this one's cool. I'm gonna show you how to get another image now, but this one's gonna be from our own gallery because it's an about me page. All right, I'm just gonna open up the Photos app on my Mac. If you're on a PC, then just go with the default photo uploading app. I already had to plug in my phone and click import, and so now I have some images to choose from. Sorry, they're kind of goofy. And I think a good one would be like, maybe, so I have a few images, yes, hey Snowy, images to choose from, and I'm gonna go with like this one. So to get it from the app to your WordPress, I like doing the old-fashioned drag to the desktop. Now go back to WordPress in your browser and just click Add Media again, upload files, select files, and you'll see that new image on your desktop. All right, so we didn't rename it, but that's okay for now. We can just double click, and it's a big image because it came from a phone. Now we're gonna size the image down to large and set the alignment to left so that the text will sit to the right of the image. You'll see that in a second. Just click Insert into Page. We have our nice looking image. And so now I'm just gonna write a little about us blurb that will hopefully look good on our new blog. So if we click anywhere to the right of the image and then start typing, then you'll see your text appear right away. You just gotta start typing. Okay, so when you start writing, sometimes the image goes in the wrong place. And an easy way to fix that is just to click the text tab, and then you can find the part of this blog post which is the image. So in our case, we have text and image, and we can see if we look close enough that the text ends after tutorial, and then there's just like this image HTML. So we're gonna separate it by hitting enter, then we're gonna highlight all of the image HTML, and we're gonna cut it. Then we're gonna come to the top, make some space, and just put that image back there, because the image should have been at the top. It just likes kind of hugging the text. So now I'm gonna click visual, then the image will align perfectly. Great job. And we can even clean up that one space. All right, so that's starting to look like a professional About Me page. If you'd like, you can go back to the text tab and actually do a lot within this little HTML editor window. For example, you can add some styling to the image, such as style equals quotation mark border, 2 pics, just a random size I chose, dashed blue, semicolon quote, and give your image a nice border around it. Keep in mind there's pretty much unlimited things you can do within WordPress because you are now in control of the internet, and as many real web pages as you want on the internet. All right, so let's just publish our page. I think it's ready to go. And we'll check it out by clicking the home page. And we can see we have a link to our new page in the navigation menu. And there she is. All right, so just to start, obviously a lot more that we could do. All right, so the fifth step in our 10 steps to master WordPress involves the links to your blog posts and pages, also called URLs and also called permalinks. So if you're anything like me, you'll see a page that you're on the web and you'll look up here in the URL bar in your browser. And what we don't want to see is anything complicated, such as an index.php or a date even, because that can outdate your posts over time in the eyes of Google. All you want to see are keywords like about me. So to simplify your links or permalinks, go back to the dashboard with me, hover on settings and just click permalinks. All right, and now we just need to choose post name. There's a bunch of options. I'm not really sure why, but they could be useful for someone. And click save changes with that post name selected. Now when we go to our blog, WordPress will know that the blog post and the about me should only have the keyword right there after the domain name. Great job. And that'll apply to all of your links going forward, which you want. All right, part 6 is going to be involving our homepage. So let's click on our site title right here. And I just want you to know that the homepage doesn't have to show off your blog posts. All right, so what I like doing when I build a website for a client or make a blog for a client sometimes is showcasing a huge image with buttons on it or an image slider on the homepage, and then they'll have to click somewhere to get to the blog. So it's not the first thing they see with the blog. It's more just like some beautiful information about the company. So if you want to do that, I'm going to create a separate tutorial because that alone will take about 10 or 15 minutes to set up. But the basic way to start doing that is to make a page called front page. So you'd go to new page and you just call it front page and click publish. I know this looks crazy confusing right now, but then you'd go to settings, reading, and here's the crux of it all. Where front page displays shows, you would change it from your latest blog post to a static page and make that front page equal to the front page. You don't have to call it front page. I just like doing that because it's WordPress terminology. And then you'd make your post page the blog. So you'd have to create a page for a blog too. Anyways, just a little bit of advanced WordPressing. That will be definitely for another tutorial coming soon. All right, so look out for that. For now, we're going to stick with our latest posts on the homepage and just save changes. All right, the 7th step in how to master WordPress is creating a menu. So follow me now to Appearance, Menus. Very good. And even though our site has a few items in the upper area, that's just WordPress guessing what should go up here. So we don't want the sample page, of course, and we might want these two rearranged or removed. So in menus, start off by clicking create a new menu. Call it something as simple and explanatory as possible, like main menu, and click create menu. Next, you can choose what goes in it by checking these boxes here, like that, and clicking add to menu. If you have something in here that's not ready yet and you want to remove it, open it and click remove. Make sure to choose the display location, such as primary menu, which is where it'll go on our theme. Different themes will have different display locations. And lastly, I want to add a custom link to our homepage. So click custom link, open up your site, copy the URL. We're going a little quicker now because we're getting a lot better at WordPress as we go through. I can feel it. And now, oops, that was my bad. Copy, paste it in there, and just give it some text like home and click add to menu. You can reposition menu items by dragging and dropping. And finally, save menu. And let's go to our site and refresh to see what we made. Great job. You now know how to make a menu in WordPress. All right, so I'd like to show you how to make a logo now. And to do that, I like starting at logomaker.com. That's logo maker without the E. Remember to remove that E. All right, and this is just a great place to find logos and graphics. If you search for a graphic like compass, I'm a big fan of compasses. then you'll get all these really cool icons that could be a logo or maybe just an icon explaining your services or your goals or your mission statement. And then when you find one that you really like, you can just click on it like that. You can easily change the color by dragging around the color wheel. Like, you might like a dark blue. I really like a nice dark blue. You can change the size by dragging and dropping. And that's literally just the start of what you can do here in Logo Maker. You can also add text, for example. Just click on the T and type something. All right, for now I'm going to show you how to save and upload this logo. Click crop in the lower right. Now click save logo in the upper right. Sorry, got the lower and upper mixed up. Long day. And now we're going to save this as, logo version 1. Save it. And because this logo is free, we do just have to paste a few little credits on the site. So just click this button right here. And now come back to our blog. All right, and we're going to go to the dashboard here. We're going to make a new page by clicking Pages on the left, Add New, and we're just going to call this page Credits, and then drop in that little credit from Logo Maker so we don't forget to do that later. Very important stuff that you don't want to forget. All right, so yeah, because that's code we pasted, it should actually go in the text tab. All right, so paste that in there, and then when you click back to visual, it will look good. If you just publish your page, don't worry, it doesn't show up right away on the site. Just make sure to add that in later. We can also go back to pages, and we can click trash on the sample page. All right, now to upload our logo, I'm going to show you the customizer area where a lot of the fun goes on in WordPress. Just hover on appearance and click customize. So this will be where we do the rest of our mastering WordPress steps. To insert the logo, just go to whatever you think might be the right section. But in our case, I know it's the site identity. And because no logo is selected, select logo, upload again, select again. And let's find that logo from our downloads. There she is, and open. Great job, and select it. All right, now we need to just crop it a little bit, drag, and crop image. All right, so now let's save and publish, and let's see how our logo shows up. It might be too big, it might be perfect. Refresh, and it's a little bit too big. How about that? So come back with me to customize, and I'm gonna show you a really clever and easy way to change the size of something on your site and do it the way a professional web designer would. So if we go back, we can navigate to the additional CSS section where you can add your own CSS here. So when I learned WordPress at the start, I had no idea what CSS was, and it held me back. I want to show you right away what you can do here, because that way you'll feel a lot more powerful with everything. So we can just delete the dummy text here. You can also actually click the help icon to learn more. Right, so this is helpful stuff too if you'd like to learn more about CSS. And for now, I just want to show you how to write a little bit. So all it is just hashtag masthead period site dash branding img. And that is going to say, listen up logo, we are talking to you. Then do an open bracket like that and just write in max width 75%, semicolon, and close bracket. And then that much, when you click on the site, it should refresh. And then if you don't see the changes right away, it's just because we gave it the wrong percent. So let's try lower, like 5 or 25. And we can see that this will automatically change the size of our logo because it's telling it to only go a certain width, and it's a circle, so that width applies to every part of it. All right, so I like a nice small logo, kind of like the Apple website or the Uber website or, the Netflix website or something like that. So 15%, 20% is too much, and 15 is perfect. So 15% is perfect. Now when we save and publish, we go back to the site and refresh, we can see our new logo looks a lot sharper. Great job. We just want to get rid of that text beneath it, which is our site tagline. So let's go back to customize here, back, site identity, and we can get rid of that tagline, which is still showing up. Just delete it right there. Save and publish. Refresh. Wow, doesn't that feel better? All right, the final 2 steps to master WordPress are just a matter of cleaning up the site. The first area you want to clean up is our sidebar. And to do that, you can go back to Customize, back, and click Widgets. And then you can click Main Sidebar and literally just delete everything we don't want in our sidebar. Remove, 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 and save and publish. Now refresh, and our sidebar will look a lot cleaner, but a little bit empty. So maybe we want to put in like a Facebook box in our sidebar. How do we do that? Well, we can go to the Facebook like box through Google, and we'll get the like box itself. So we can open that, and it's going to say like, okay, this is what you can and can't do. So we actually want to go back, and we want to go to the page plugin. All right, and this is what you see typically on the web on any major website that has their Facebook box, and you can like it right from the page itself. So this part's really fun. You're gonna learn about inserting Facebook onto a website. So let's just give ourselves the right link here. Mine's already there. Go ahead and create a Facebook page if you need it. It's obviously free. And then we can set a max width to maybe about 300. And this will update. And then you can play around with the settings. So I think actually the small header is pretty cool. I like being brief. Now we just need to click Get Code. And what we'll do is grab this bottom code first, just how I like doing it. Copy that and come back to WordPress. Add a widget. Choose a text widget where you can put in arbitrary text or HTML. That's the key. And then just paste in that code from Facebook. And so let's give it a little chance to load, save it, and refresh. Let's see if it worked. And it didn't quite work. In fact, it doesn't know that it should appear. It's just a link to Facebook. All right, so that means that we need to insert the second part of code from Facebook. We need to go back to this page and copy the step 2 code and put that somewhere on our site. But where do we put that? Well, the perfect place to put it is actually inside a plugin, which might sound crazy confusing, I know, but if you made it this far, you can definitely insert this code onto your site. Just go back to the dashboard by clicking the X. Clicking X will actually take you back to where we were when we went to customize. So we're on the pages list. And now let's click on plugins. And you're going to learn how to add a new plugin. It's just like adding a new theme. Click add new. Search for it, and I want WP Insert Code. Super simple plugin I use on a lot of my sites. It's usually in the upper left corner. In this case, it's the one with the magenta colored, thumbnail. And click Install Now. Now activate, and this will bring us to the plugins page where we now have 2 plugins. Very nice, looking good. And we want to just hover on Settings, where we now have a new section for this new plugin. So click that, and then we're just gonna paste in this code from Facebook right in the header. So the header is a great place to paste in analytics code or Facebook code or Google code. You don't actually need to know how the code works. You just need to paste it in the right place. And that's how a lot of the world works. Just side note, people don't really know what the code means. We just use it. Save changes, and now refresh your beautiful blog, and we'll see that the Facebook like box populates perfectly. It's just like chomping off part of our site. I'm not sure why. All right, speaking of cleanup, we might as well also delete our sample post here. So let's just open it. It's kind of cool that we have one comment already, but I'm sure you'll get more as you promote your blog, which will be the next section. All right, so let's go to posts and just trash hello world. All right, now we check out our site. Looks a lot cleaner. And the final step in mastering WordPress, or at least becoming a master, as I'll call you, is just to edit our footer. All right, so there's a lot of stuff you will do in WordPress, but this will make you a master to begin with, and then you'll become more of a master. So we're gonna edit the footer right now. How do we do that? Let's go to customize. And in this section, you would definitely expect to see something for the footer, maybe in widgets. Nope, that's not in widgets, although you do get a top bar, which is kind of cool. Try that out later. We just need to know where to edit this piece right here. So we can go back. We can go back to the dashboard, and there's a lot of your site that lives in Appearance Editor. So this is where like the nuts and bolts of your site lives. And if you actually edit something here and do it in the right way, it'll show up on the homepage or on a blog post. So you can, if you want to go this way, and in this case we do. We just want to do a Command F, look for footer. We want to open the theme footer file, and we want to just come down to where it says div class equals site info. All right, so I'm kind of encouraging you to become a little bit of a beginner coder here, which is definitely going to help later on as you learn more and more about the internet and how to make an amazing WordPress site that's beautiful and the audience loves it because you know how to do everything with it, or even teach it. So what we want to do here is just like Command A, Command C, the entire file. We want to open a new text file and just paste it in there and call this north theme footer .php backup and save it. So that way if we do anything wrong, copy paste it from here into your site and you'll be back to normal in no time. For now, I know that we can actually delete everything in this container right here, or we can just modify like little sections of it. So I'm gonna go for the whole enchilada and just delete all of it. I'm gonna write in copyright 2017, vertical bar, this site rocks, vertical bar, all rights reserved. So, you know, I'm kind of making a joke of this, but seriously, Narayan tutorials. That's my YouTube channel. All right, and we can also put in a link if we want, but for now, text will do. Let's just steal this copyright icon from the site itself. And we can actually paste that in right there and update file. So you can see how like on WordPress, you can pretty much do anything within reason. All right, and now we have a totally new footer that you now know how to do because you're an expert with Appearance Editor. Just don't get too overconfident and chop up every one of these files because that might hurt your site. All right, but you know how to edit the footer. You're much further ahead than most bloggers when they make their first blog. All right, so that does it. We're now done with 10 steps to master WordPress in 10 minutes or maybe a little bit more. Sorry about that, but thanks for sticking with us, and I hope you now know more than you ever could have imagined about WordPress. All right, so we're done making our humble little blog, and I think it'll work for any niche that you choose or niche because it's so simple, and it's cool how you can see everything from the logo to the footer on one screen and get a lot of information across right here above the fold. So now it's time to move on and set up Google Analytics so that you can look at a nice traffic curve like we saw in the introduction. So we're gonna drag in our stopwatch again, which I know some of you won't like, but I hope it helps, and show you how we're gonna set up Google Analytics in under 3 minutes, or about as much time as it takes to feed your pet. So I think this will help us in the corner. I hope so, because we have to get through Google Adsense and online marketing after. All right, so let's begin. So to get started with Google Analytics, I'm just going to open a new tab because I'm already logged in the other one, and I'll show you the steps. So you can just Google Analytics, and then Google Analytics will come up. It's the first one, google.com/analytics. You're going to see their website here, which is beautiful in its own right. They help a lot of small businesses. And just click sign in the upper right and choose Analytics. Like almost all of Google's products, this one is free. You just need to have a Gmail or create an account with Google and then follow the steps, and they'll help you get set up and tell you if you have data already or if you're going to start brand new. All that they'll help you get set up easily. So what do those steps look like to insert Google Analytics on a website though? Well, we can check out My Analytics. Again, google.com/analytics. Sign in, click Analytics. And so this is what it'll look like when you set up your account. I have some users showing up at my sites and a lot of new users. That's good, new sessions. And so what I want to do now is just go down and click Admin, click the gear, choose an account. So I've set up Analytics for a lot of different accounts and clients, and create new account. All right, and then tell Google Analytics about your site. So this is what you'll be doing. Exactly. Select an industry category. This is always tough for us teachers because it's like a combination of education and internet. Okay, remove the HTTP. And then come down and leave these checked if you want to get Google services. It's recommended. And click Get Tracking ID. Then click I accept. And now you're going to get your own custom piece of Google code. So click once right here in the website tracking box and copy. Now come back to our blog, click to the dashboard, and you're going to be pretty happy that you have your WP Insert Code plugin installed, because we can just click that and then make some space beneath our code from Facebook and just paste it in. And then it'll start working. It's in the right place now on your WordPress website. All right, and then just needs like a couple spaces right there. That's fine. Save changes. Now when you come back to Analytics, we can verify that it's in there. So we're done here within Google Analytics. Just click back to Property Settings, scroll down, and click Save. All right, and now we're going to go to another Google website, which is called Webmaster Central. So just look that up, click the first link, sign in, and you're going to want to click Add a Property right here in the upper right, and then type in the website again, not the Google Analytics code, just your website. Okay, so copy, paste, and click Add. And this is going to add your website to all of Google's like data tracking and blog tracking and website tracking. And so it's going to say recommended method to verify your ownership is Google Analytics. We've already done that. So we'll click verify, cross our fingers, and congratulations, it worked. All right. So Google Analytics is now confirmed in our website. They know you're there. They're going to start tracking anyone who visits your blog or website. So click continue. And if you have any questions about exploring the tools here, let me know. You don't need to. You really want to spend most of your time in Analytics over here because they have all this rich data and it just looks beautiful. One thing I like clicking is on behavior and site content and then all pages, because this lets you see exactly which pages and posts are getting the most traffic. The third and final step you can do is just submit your URL directly to the Google search engines, and you can literally just Google submit my URL to Google. And I think we're going to get a third and final tool, which is the submit URL Google. Open that and then just, paste in your website link. Check that you're not a robot, and this is like a hard submit. All right, so this is like gonna tell them even quicker. It's like a third reminder, and now you're officially in there. Your website is like in Google's line of processing. All right, so that'll get done. You don't need to do anything else, and we're good. You now have Google Analytics working perfectly. All right, so we went a little over there again. I'm just gonna owe you guys a bunch of Greg's time here by the end, but I hope you enjoyed those couple extra steps to make sure that Google Analytics is working. All right, so now we're gonna move on to Adsense. Pretty similar process. You can just Google Adsense. And all right, so we'll do it in incognito. Show you what it looks like when you're a new user, of course. So you'll just look up this link, google.com/adsense/start. All right, we could look at her video about like phones and cheese and the link I want you to actually go to, in fact, is just Google AdSense sign up. I think it's slightly different. It's a sign up right here. So I'll leave you these in the comments below, of course, in the video notes. And the beauty here is that there's only 3 things you need, and you know exactly what you need. So you just need to sign into your Google account. That's the first step. And then it's going to ask about your website. So you need to have some sort of website up. Google understands that there are restrictions on free websites like WordPress.com and Tumblr for where you can put ads. So they don't want to mess with that. They just want you to have your own WordPress website. I mean, that's the definition of a real website these days, is having WordPress. And they want you to have a little bit of content so it doesn't look like you're going to be phony or just like duplicate websites. Your website has to look authentic. So what you need to do is follow the steps to make a WordPress website or blog, and then write, I would say, 1 to 3 blog posts and populate it with some nice content. And then you'll go ahead and submit your website right here in the Welcome to AdSense window. All right, after that, you enter in your basic information and they approve or disapprove you. So at that point, I gotta say good luck, and I'm happy to help you at any point in the comments below get accepted to AdSense. It's a little bit harder nowadays. I've heard there is a line than when I signed up so many years ago, but you can do it. I'm here to help. Just don't delay, because it can take some time to get approved. All right, so inserting AdSense onto your blog or website and putting an ad up is just as easy as putting Google Analytics in, maybe even easier. Just go to this AdSense site, google.com/AdSense now. Sign in. Once you're approved, it'll hopefully look something like this. So this is the new modern dashboard. And yeah, all right, so we want to click on My Ads, and then you're going to want to click New Ad Unit. I already have some we can use. They're already active, so it won't take any time for them to appear. Let's try this one, GregNarayan.com sidebar, from one of our past amazing tutorials. You just need to copy the code. Asynchronous is recommended, and then come back to your blog. And then easiest is to hover over the menu and click widgets, and that'll take you right to this sidebar area. So what I like doing is using a text widget, add widget, and then just pasting in that code. And make sure to click save, otherwise it won't work. And so this is another way of viewing our main sidebar, and it's the old-fashioned way of seeing widgets. The newer way is clicking customize, and then you can get to widgets from there, like we added our Facebook box. Now we can X out and see our blog, and hopefully we'll have a nice ad somewhere, but we don't, and that's because I actually run ad blocker. So I have to click that in the upper right and approve all pages on this domain, exclude. So now we have our very first Google ad working, and it knows that I like Virgin Australia because we just went to Australia. So it's a pretty smart program. It'll generate your blog or your website revenue, and the type of ads that show up will depend on the content around it. And the cool thing is that depending on your niche, those ads can earn you anywhere from $1 to about $20 per click. Because, obviously when someone clicks it, that person's going to spend more if it's like stock market advice or a finance book, as opposed to just like, cat toys or something. I spend a lot on cat toys, but so then you're going to earn money, and there's no reason that you can't make, anywhere from $100 to $500, maybe even $1,000 after a few months of work. It's definitely difficult, but if you blog every day and publish every week regularly, you'll be amazed how people come and enjoy your content and will get to know you and even help you, by using your advertisements and your products. And for a lot of bloggers I've talked to and heard about, putting that first ad on their blog is the first step to earning a full-time income. There's no limit on it through blogging. All right, so now you know how to do that first step that a lot of people can't even figure out. All right, guys and gals, so you've made it this far. Congratulations. You've made a blog. You know about AdSense and analytics now. And I want to close with a few minutes to talk about online marketing. You're going to be doing a lot online as a blogger and a website owner. And one very important thing is marketing. All right. The good news is it doesn't have to be hard. It's fun. And there are proven steps laid out ahead of you. All right. So we've already paved the road as previous online marketers. And here's how to do it so that your blog gets readers and you can generate traffic, sell products, do affiliate marketing, grow in any way you want. The first step is to guest post. So when you start out blogging, you don't have an audience, but other blogs do. One example of a blog that does is ProBlogger, all right? So what you can do is write about topics you're good at and submit them to blogs like ProBlogger, and then hopefully after a couple weeks of waiting and, biting your nails, they eventually send you an email saying you're approved. Once they do, they'll publish your content, maybe with a couple edits. They'll give you a byline and a link back to your site, which is important. I'll talk about that in 1 second. And you'll start to look like, an author that has a certain amount of credibility. You have to write posts that are very good. Don't get me wrong. They have to be long, exhaustive. And within the post, you got to use your style. So, enough said, you know how to write a blog post. But the cool thing is you can actually link out to other bloggers. Like I linked out to Anna Hoffman. All right. So she tweeted me saying big thanks. And then we got to network together and I really admire her. Check out her blog right here. And you get that link back to your post. Sometimes you get 2 to 3 links, at least 1. What this link does is people can click it to get to your site, of course, and then they'll say, oh man, this blog is actually cool, even though it's new. I'm going to read some of their articles and post comments and share it. But Google also sees this link as a vote from ProBlogger that your site is worth linking to. All right, and that helps your Google rankings over time, which you need to start building. You need to start building Google rankings through links on other websites and blogs. And guest posting is one of the best ways to do it. So once you have people coming back to your blog and you start building SEO juice from these links, your blog posts need to look good enough. They need to pass the test. They need to be readable. So you need to develop a style that people can actually get through with headers and blurbs and images. But you also need to use a tool called Yoast. So let me show you that one. I'm just going to edit this page here. And I have a plugin installed called Yoast, which gives me actually a checklist of everything I need to do to make a blog post or a page SEO friendly. You can click Edit Snippet, and you can tell Google about your post, like writing a meta description. This would appear beneath a link in Google when someone searches. So if I look up how to blog for money, this is the meta description right here. It's the grayed out text. Really important to rank in Google. So you can actually control what shows up there. You can even give it a focus keyword. And then once you do that, Yoast will tell you where to write the keyword, how much to write, if you should edit your images, and so on and so forth. Just doing this much and having a checklist will set you apart from thousands of other blogs in your niche that are too lazy to or just don't know how to. So, if you don't know, now you know. You can get this tool for free called Yoast SEO. Go Yoast. And then, so once you do that and you have people come into your blog and your blog posts look good and they pass a test, or your pages look good and they pass the test, then you're going to want people to stick around. So people will often read your blog and then forget about it. But if you have an email newsletter here above the fold looking good enough that someone would pop in their name and email, then click join, then you'll be able to keep contact with readers and deliver them more value, and then eventually online market to them in the future with your ebooks, your ideas, your new products, your new businesses, your new websites. And that's how the process sustains itself. It's really easy. Just sign up for Aweber. They charge $1 per month to get started. I use them for all my email management. And by the way, I'll give you a link to every tool we talk about in the video below in the comments. You don't need to go anywhere. And when I say comments, I mean the notes below the video. Aweber is great. I've collected over 5,000 subscribers with them. I get stats for when I send out a newsletter, like how many people opened it, clicked it. If anyone complained, I don't really know what 0.04 of a complaint is, but I should probably look at that. And then you can create as many email lists as you want for your parents' blog or a different blog, so on and so forth. You even get detailed information about each subscriber, which I won't show you, of course, because this is all very professional and private. If you don't want to get a professional email management tool like this that you have to pay a little bit for, if you'd rather grab an email marketing software that's free and just super basic, then get MailChimp. I'll give you a link to them too below, and I've used them for different projects. They work great. You can capture people's emails, send them a free welcome message, send them an ebook, and start that whole process. So these are all very good, positive things to have on your blog. It's good numbers, so when someone subscribes, you can check out that stat and get excited about it. And then, of course, when you land guest blog posts or, make your own blog posts, you can get very excited as well. If you're anything like me, this stuff makes me more excited than I was as a kid at an amusement park to wake up and just open the laptop or fire up the desktop, because you can look at the numbers and you can see how your work is doing. You can start responding to people, which looks like I forgot to do for a little bit, and really immerse yourself in blogging and get a piece of the pie from all the blogging success people are experiencing. So that's online marketing in a nutshell. I'll show you more guest posts if you want, but that might be kind of vain. I just went on like a blog guest post frenzy when I first started Dear Blogger. So that's what you can do too. Guarantee it works. And I will leave you back at the blog we made together, so you can keep adding to it, write some more blog posts below, add maybe a contact page, and then make sure your sidebar looks perfect. Maybe you're going to want to add in that Aweber or MailChimp form right here, just a simple copy paste piece of code into a text widget like we saw before. All right, but I'm confident you have the tools now to make your blog into a successful endeavor and really join the blogosphere with style and make it a better place. So good luck, and here's where I go into asking for things from you mode and ask you to please share the video, subscribe, rate the video, and post a comment. I really, really need these things to keep doing what I do, and it really helps. So if you learned anything and you can do that, thanks so much for helping spread the good word about blogging. If we ever meet up at some convention, drinks on me, and cheers. Thank you so much for watching. I love making these for you guys. All right, so I'm going to go into that mode now.